When it comes to men's mental health, I would like to say that there are a lot of men in our society who are still in the closet about their sexuality and their sexual preferences. And these are not just young boys, but these are men who are in their 20s and 30s, who are even financially independent. But because they may be bisexual or they may be homosexual, that they are really struggling against the pressure that the family puts on them for getting married. Because in India, as a society, we are still not open to accepting sexual preferences that men or women may have. So we at Wellness Space do have a few clients who do come to us with this problem, because families think that even if the boy or the man is bisexual or homosexual, just by getting him married, this sexual orientation will get fixed. I would like to clarify that this is absolutely not true. A marriage will not fix or change anybody's sexual orientation, but forcing such men or boys to get married is going to actually cause a lot of problems, because now this person is going to get married to a woman whose own sexual needs will not be met. The marriage is more of a sham. We've also had clients where even after 20 to 25 years of being married, there is absolutely no sexual intimacy because the man is homosexual or bisexual. He doesn't have any intimacy needs as far as his wife goes, and the wife is also sexually frustrated. In such marriages, sometimes also there is a complexity of infidelity, because clearly now the partner will look for the sexual needs to be met outside, and this causes a lot of stress and complication in the marriage. There is a lot of lying, there's a lot of deceiving, and also the wife feels very, very let down if she's not told or aware of this. Not to also to add to the complication, what happens later on is there is a lot of pent up suppression of anger and the sexual needs that are suppressed both for the man and for the woman, and this leads to a lot of toxicity in the marriage and in the relationship, eventually causing mental health and physical health issues amongst the couple. So if you know anybody, any such man who you feel could be bisexual or homosexual or gay or transgender maybe, and who is unable to talk about it or who is facing pressure from the family, then please try to ask such people to talk to somebody to seek help and support. If you are a friend, then counsel this person, let them open up and talk about it. The families need to also be told and encouraged to accept this part of their child's or their son's personality, because otherwise they are setting him up for a lifelong journey of extreme stress and trauma. So as this is the month of men's mental health, I would really like to say that as parents of young boys, please talk about these issues. If you have friends who are boys, please, if you recognize that they have confusion about their sexual orientation, please have them openly talk about it or seek help from counselors or mental health therapists who can coach them and counsel them to accept this reality. Remember, hypnotherapy or any other therapy does not change the sexuality or the sexual orientation of a person. We get many calls asking us if we can do hypnotherapy to change the sexual orientation of somebody, and the answer is absolutely not. This is wrong at every level, and in fact, those who come to us for therapy, we actually use therapy to build their confidence so that they can live with honesty and authenticity about their sexual orientation, so that they can have the confidence to convince their family against forcing them to get married and to spoil somebody else's life as well. So this is something that I really wanted to share with you, because in our clinical practice we do have a couple of clients who have come with this kind of a problem, and we have spent many hours with them, coaching them, counseling them, giving them the confidence to finally live in the society with their sexual orientation and their sexual preferences that may not be what is acceptable to the family. And I think we in India need to have more and more conversations around this. So please talk to your parents about it, talk to your friends, talk to your circle of friends, and have these conversations with your young children as well, so that they do not have to live in suppression and in shame about this. Parents have this fear that if we talk about, homosexuality and being gays and lesbians in front of our children, then even if they are not homosexuals, by talking we are putting ideas into their head, so parents do not want to talk about it. So let me tell you that by having conversations around homosexuality will not make your children homosexual. This is something that people are born with. The sexual orientation is something that we are born with. So it cannot change with therapy, and it will not change by you having conversations about it. Secondly, we have also observed that during teenage years, when there is a lot of change happening in the hormones, when the brain is going through major restructuring, at these times many teenagers are confused about their sexual orientation. So during teenage years, there are many teenagers who feel I am a lesbian or I am bisexual or I am gay, but sometimes once they become adults, again their orientation or their understanding about it changes, and sometimes they may also change their orientation as they become adults. So we must understand that sometimes these orientations, the sexual orientation can change, provided that person himself or herself wants to change it. It doesn't change by giving therapy. Thirdly, I would also like to say that this is not a Western concept. Every time we talk about, homosexuality or sexual orientation, people think that it is something that we've adopted from the West. It is not true. In India also, if you read our scriptures, if you read, about the older civilizations, every civilization had their set of homosexuals or people who were, bisexuals or homosexuals. And India also, in our mythology also, we've had characters who are not necessarily straight. So we must understand that this is not a Western concept. As long as there is humanity, there is sexuality, there is bound to be some sexual confusion and varied sexual orientation that people might have. So it is not new, it is not Western. And in India, I think as a culture, it's time. We've accepted it thousands of years back, but again, it's time that we accept it now also and normalize conversations around it.